Good day, happy travelers. Seven Continents Travel Agency here today talking about food that was enjoyed on the Royal Caribbean Jewel of the Seas, fresh back from our 7-day Southern Caribbean cruise that left out of San Juan. So if you're watching this, you're probably curious as to, hey, how's the food on Royal Caribbean? And can you draw any comparisons to other cruise lines? I can. On Thanksgiving, I was on the Mardi Gras, Carnival Mardi Gras. For Christmas, I was on the Royal Caribbean Jewel of the Sea. So I'll be able to give you a little comparison and contrast. Overall, it was fantastic. If you want to look at some pictures of food, here's some pictures of food. If you want to look at the menu options, that's a little later. But in short, I was with a family of 8, so we got lots of pictures of food. The presentation was, presentable. It's good presentation. Everything, the chicken was crisp, the crab cake was crisp, the chicken had flavor. I can honestly tell you, I've had the same dish on Mardi Gras. Chicken was dry. Somehow, like, it just wasn't, it seemed like it was made maybe an hour ago. The food, overall in the food, it tasted like, I'm not saying cooked to order. There's thousands of people on these cruise ships. But somehow the fried food, chicken parmesan here, was great. The lasagna was fantastic. The steak, I'm a steak guy. If you've ever seen any of my other videos, certainly from Disney, I'm a steak connoisseur. The steak, we're not talking McCormick and Schmidt's or, the Yachtsman Steakhouse. But somehow on the Carnival ones, the steak ends up being 25 to 35% inedible. I don't know how. I don't know. But also, comparison, I would order 2 entrees. The food on Carnival, as I think somebody on one of the Facebook groups said it best, and it said, hey, how's the food on Carnival? You're not going to go hungry. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to walk out of there doing cartwheels or backflips. Here we walked out of here going, wow, this is some really quality, product. 5-star? Maybe not 5-star, but the taste was fantastic. We enjoyed it. There was juice in the meat. There was even in the fried meat. I've had the lasagna, somehow bland. Somehow lasagna on Carnival was bland. I'm not bashing Carnival by any stretch. I'm almost with my free laundry services, so I'm not bashing them, but I was just surprised as to how a different carrier could make the food taste crisp. The tilapia, the mahi-mahi, the chicken, the crab cakes, and then this enchilada had so much flavor, the rice, the sides. Let's even talk about the sides. Oftentimes on the Carnival, some sides like mashed potatoes, you're hard to mess those up. But the rice, you wouldn't eat it because it wouldn't, it wasn't necessarily cooked all the way or too cooked. Like it was a mashed potato. It was mushy. I forget what this meat was called. This was my meal. It was great tasting meat. It had flavor. It was savory, buttery. It had nice seasoning to it. This is the something crusted salmon. We'll see it on the menu a little later. But the salmon on top of the mashed potatoes, it was fantastic. The crust, like herb crusted, like when you bit into it, it was flaky. It was great. It was absolutely fantastic. Also here, I remember I had the chicken dinner. It came with corn, and corn, when you bite into it, it shouldn't. There wasn't like crisp, but like when you bite into corn on the cob, there should be like a texture, like, hey, we've all eaten corn on the cob, I assume. But when you bit into it on Carnival, there was no pop, there was no juice. It was like I bit into a smear. It was bland. It was somehow tasteless. Here, it was exactly what you would expect. There was a crisp, there was juice, it had flavor. Mashed potatoes under there were great. So all around, I'm raving, right? This is the beef Wellington on the Christmas menu. I'll show you the menu a little later. I've never had beef Wellington before, but this was Christmas Day, so this was day 2. Wow, fantastic. It was fantastic. This is the spaghetti here. I recommend this. If I don't know if this is only on the Christmas menu. I've never seen it memorably. I don't necessarily go out looking for beef Wellington. Frankly, I've never heard of it. So if beef Wellington's a staple in your house, it was fantastic. Spaghetti was good. And here's some of the menus. So if you're like, okay, cool, thanks for showing me pictures, dude. Show me some of the menus. This is the menu. And it changed daily. Every day somehow had a theme, whether it was Caribbean theme, Italian theme. There was a bunch of different themes. This is the app version of the menu, and then they also gave you paper copies. And if you've seen mine before, I'm not going to go through each one of these things. You can pause and read it if you want. Just go back here, pause if you want to read the details. But they had a nice, if you were vegetarian, a bunch of variety, a bunch of different stuff were available. So here's the hard copy if you didn't want to use the app to look at it. So it was nice to have that available. We didn't have to ask for it. It was just made available if we wanted it. And here is the carne asada, pulled pork enchilada that you saw. That's on this right over here. Grilled chicken breast. I remember one time in Carnival, my wife got the grilled chicken breast, and oh man, it was borderline inedible. The slow roasted prime rib was enjoyed. I got the New York strip. I got the fried chicken. Over the course of 8 days, I was able to try a whole lot. And here's the holiday menu. Here's the presentation of it. The place settings, the attention to detail, the bows. We almost didn't want to open it. It was really good. Oh, the French onion soup. As much as I like steak, I also enjoy a good French onion soup. I don't know, something about the bread and the cheese and, how the whole thing goes together. I've had a lot of soup on Carnival because sometimes I want a soup. And somehow the broth to noodle ratio, the broth to content. The broth wasn't always flavorful, and the content was mostly broth. Here, the French onion soup had good volume of onions. There was a good amount of bread and the cheese, and then there was flavor in the soup. Like whoever made it knew something about how it was supposed to taste. So I almost got this every night it was available. But anyway, if you're going on a holiday cruise, this is the menu that was available to us. I don't know if next year it will change. I really don't know. A lot of people got the honey glazed ham. They were not disappointed. We actually had a holiday meal on Carnival, the Thanksgiving version of it. And how I would best describe it is if you go to the grocery store and you go and buy a pack of Oscar Mayer deli meat, stack it in a pile, put it on a tray, turn your oven to 350, put it on a baking tray, and put it in the oven for, I'd say about 35 minutes, and then splash some gravy on it. It's going to be dry. There's going to be burnt leather-like edges to it, and this just wasn't the case. And I don't know what they are doing between the two, and now many people are probably saying, hey, this guy's completely bashing Carnival. I'm a straight shooter. I ate it. I wasn't, like I said, I didn't walk out of there going, man, that, oof. I was just kind of like, that could have been better. Here's somehow the Royal Caribbean version of essentially the same holiday kind of meal. Somehow had juice, had flavor, had pizzazz. We did walk away going, man, that's pretty impressive. Here's the kids menu for those of you traveling with kids. Hamburger. My kid flip-flop between the adult and the kids menu. He's not necessarily a Caribbean, guy. So the hamburger was good. Chicken fingers. The French fries were crispy. Like I said, I'd swear to you that they just pulled it out of a deep fryer. I'd swear to you that they did. And here's some of the vegetarian. I just want to make a note of that. Also, we celebrated 2 birthdays on top of the Christmas. And if you do go there on your birthday, This is kind of what you should expect if you're looking to surprise somebody. On your on your bed, a couple days before your birthday, you will get an invitation to a gathering, and this is kind of what it looks like. There's a cake, and there's a PowerPoint presentation, a guy walking around. If you like mimosas, there's mimosas handed around. There's fruit punch. There's another picture of the cake. They will sing happy birthday to you in the ceremony. They will sing happy birthday to you at dinner. And if you build relationships with the people at the Windjammer, they will sing happy birthday to you there as well. Lastly, regarding the Windjammer and the Solarium Cafe, the pizza. So Carnival does a couple things really well. One, their guys' burgers is good. It is enjoyable, and their pizza, their wood-fired pizza. Now the con is the wait. The Royal Caribbean also does pizza. Is it out of a wood-fired grill? I'm not inclined to think so. I didn't necessarily see where it was made, but I will tell you this. That line moved. That line in Carnival, whether it was the Magic, the Horizon, the Mardi Gras, any of the ships that we've been on many times, it's not unusual for the pizza line to run 30, 40 deep. If you're lucky, low line is 5 to 10. And then if you got a person in front of you said, I would like 4 slices of this and 4 slices of that, the 10 pizzas that they bring out at a time go by really fast. And it's about a 5-minute wait in between sessions. So you can spend time waiting for pizza. The pizza was good on Royal Caribbean. I will say that. Wood-fired, probably, I'm not inclined to think so. But it was very good. We all walked away saying, hey, we enjoyed that. And if you don't like that your food tastes and burnt, like wood-fired kind of is, then this might even be more enjoyable. I was surprised at how good the burgers were in Royal Caribbean. They were served on a plate, like a hot dish, so they still sizzled when you grabbed them. You made your own burger. Guys, no, it's not a guy's burger. We all agree that Carnival holds the nod on burgers. But burgers and dogs were available every day. They had a pasta bar in the Royal Caribbean every day if you wanted to make pasta. Of course, salads, a lot of the staples. But then when it comes to the other cuisines, just like in the main dining room, they just tasted fresher, and they had more taste. Was there something to eat on Carnival? Yes, there was always something to eat. As a matter of fact, I'll post my other review that I did on the Mardi Gras food somewhere, probably right around here. But just in closing, the Windjammer, we had it for breakfast, we had it for lunch, sometimes maybe after, it closed at 9, if we just, sometimes you just want a snack. We had the early dining. Long story short, the food was, we're excited to go back in December. So, I hope this helped. If you have any questions, drop me a line in the comments, and hope you have safe travels.